This is Mental Health Awareness Week. We've also got a bank holiday weekend coming up, and of course we're still in lockdown. The easing of those restrictions has only been slight so far. Our mental well-being is a product of different things. It's the product of good diet, of exercise, or positive relationships, of having a sense of purpose in life, and of getting a good degree of rest. Lockdown has challenged all of these things. For some, they might have been eating more. For others, their exercise might have been challenged, restricted, not being able to go to the gym. Others might have found the opportunity to get out and walk more. That's been my experience. Lockdown's also challenged our relationships. When we've been confined to our homes, spending more time with our families, maybe there have been stresses and strains there. Also, our sense of purpose might have been undermined, particularly if we've been furloughed or there's a risk in our work, or we're just not actually finding the opportunity to get on with our work. And for some of us, we might have found it difficult to rest during this time. I've heard of people who've been finding it difficult to sleep. Lockdown has been a challenge. Rest. One of the things that strikes me about rest is that when we look at a dictionary definition of rest, it's something like this: refreshing ease or inactivity after work, relieving weariness, refreshing oneself by sleep or relaxing. So rest. With a bank holiday coming up, that's traditionally been a time of taking a break, having a rest, of not being at work. But this bank holiday, like the others we've experienced recently, is different because of lockdown. What does the Bible have to say about rest? Well, the book of Hebrews tells us this: there remains then a Sabbath rest for the people of God. For anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from his. Let us therefore make every effort to enter that rest, so that no one will perish by following their example of disobedience. The writer to the Hebrews tells us that rest is actually something that God promises to his people. It's a gift from God. But God also models it for us. In the story of creation, God worked 6 days in the creation of the universe, and then he rested on the 7th day when his work was complete. And there is something that we need to take on board, that rest comes after work. But the writer to the Hebrews also tells us that for many people, they're not listening to what God says. They're running away from him. They've turned their back on him. They're not listening to what he has to say. Therefore, they're missing the gift. They're missing his promise. They're missing what he models for us. And then we wonder why we're not feeling rested, why we're feeling weary. The answer is that we need to receive the gift of rest. We need to work at it. Rest is something that requires effort on our part to create the time and the space, and not to shut God out from it. Then, and only then, can we bask in that rest, in God's love, and bathe in its warmth. Jesus, in Matthew's Gospel, says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Jesus' invitation is something that we need to take seriously, to experience his rest, to know what it is to be blessed by him. And it's something that affects us every aspect of our lives, our spiritual well-being as well. So this bank holiday, make time for Jesus, and then you'll know what rest really is.